Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the State Court of Clayton County. Hope you all had a great holiday. This is December 3rd, 2024, the Clayton County State Court arraignment calendar for courtroom 304. I'm going to call the arraignment calendar, and then I'll call the jail and probation calendar. So then the arraignment calendar, first person on the calendar is Aaron Keith Robbins. Aaron Keith Robbins.
Judge, Mr. Robbins is in the courtroom today. We do want to get both his cases resolved. He is in bench warrant status. I did want to just have a quick conference with Ms. Hagler about the recommendation, see if she would take something into consideration, but we'll have a resolution fairly shortly for that, I anticipate.
All right. So Mr. Robbins is ready and prepared to go forward. We'll look for an opportunity to put you in the breakout room. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. On the jail and probation calendar, the first person is John Abgitemike. John Abgitemike.
Thank you, Your Honor. I spoke with Mr.
I have Abgitemike.
Yes. And that will be a non-negotiated plea. I would like to bring up a matter that's not on the calendar really quickly.
Okay.
Mate, Brittany Johnson. She's currently in Judge Garrett's courtroom. Arraignment, but she has a prior case that's pending in our courtroom. That's pending before you, Your Honor. The case before us is 2022 CR 07702, so 2 to 3 year old case. And the case that she's currently appearing in, Judge Garrett, is 2024 CR 09340.
Okay.
So we wanted to put those into one courtroom.
All right. Well, they will be mine. Miss Val, can you shoot an email to Miss Donna or Miss Shamika and tell them that they can send Brittany Johnson to us? When is his arraignment?
I think it's going on this morning, Your Honor.
Huh?
Is it?
Does he has Tuesday arraignment?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor. We're checking on it though.
Okay.
Yeah,
what's the case number?
The case in Judge Garrett's courtroom is 2020.
No, the one for us.
For us, 22 CR 07702. It's a charge of simple battery. I believe it's a single count.
And so you're saying that he's also on Judge Garrett's calendar
Today?
Yeah, she has a 2024 in Judge, and they assigned it to Judge Garrett, so both should come to us.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
My name's Brittany.
I just received this maybe 2 minutes ago. So there's two different LE screens. So we're merging them so that it can come to us, to Judge Hayward's courtroom.
Okay. Thank you, Ms.
Two different screens, Ms. Arnold. How they doing that?
It could be something as simple as a different digit in the date of birth, and it will be a different LE screen.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Are we sure it's the same? Because Brittany Johnson is not that uncommon of a name. We sure it's the same one?
I'm double checking now. So if I can have a few minutes just to make sure it's right.
That's fine. Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Arnold. So next person is Antoine Javon Barbary.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Barbary. I believe we are going to request a mental health evaluation. After speaking with him this morning in the booth, he's not ready to appear before the court.
Okay. So we'll reset this for the evaluation and also maybe reset for 2 weeks.
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
All right. And if you all have contact with any of his family members or anyone who might be aware of his situation, that might speed up the process because they may be able to medicate him based on the prescriptions he already has.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, next is Julia C. Beckwith Jr.
I don't believe that person is in custody.
I don't see active inmate on here.
Yeah,
but I had that this was a failure to appear from the 9/23/2022 calendar call. So it sounds like somebody who had a bench warrant and who came in and asked to be put back on the calendar, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I'm not sure who added it to the calendar, but Julius C. Beckwith Jr. Bench warrant, bond forfeiture.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, DeAndre Lamique Benton.
Judge, that is going to be a plea. I did want to briefly speak with Ms. Hagler about it, but it will be a plea today.
Okay.
And Your Honor, his second case is actually going to be transferred to Superior Court given the amount of the damages.
Oh, okay.
The second case.
Criminal trespass.
Yes, Your Honor.
That has a Douglas Smith, so Lister Holton Dennis does not have that case. Is that correct, Mr. Lynch?
So, yeah, I mean, I was confused. I thought that it had come down from Superior Court, but it does say the Public Defender's Office, which would mean.
Yeah, it looks like it started in in upstairs, because Smith is the new public defender or newest.
Like on your phone or anything?
So, and I neglected to. I must.
So are we sending it back? If we're gonna just play roulette with the man's stuff?
I mean, I wasn't aware it was sent up, but I know that I did a request
there
to have it.
Yeah, I think it started there because if he was assigned Douglas Smith, that's the new public defender.
Okay, well, I guess so then, because the amount is over $500.
Hold on.
I didn't even get the paperwork on the case.
One second.
Can you look and see if he's held on criminal trespass?
Judge,
Hmm.
it looks like Julius Beckwith was arrested and look, he bonded out on the 27th. So he'll have to be put back on another arraignment calendar instead of the bench warrant.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So I won't do the bench warrant. If he bonded out, he wouldn't have gotten his court date, I guess.
Right. So it'll go back to another arraignment calendar.
Yeah. For the criminal trespass, yeah, because if it started up there and they're gonna just send it back down.
And Judge, I'm not sure what the state's position is, but I didn't receive any, paperwork on the criminal trespass case, probably because they intended to transfer it. But if we are going to handle it in state court, I would request that information. But I guess Ms. Hagler will let us know what their position is going to be on that.
What kind of property is it? What are we talking about?
1 second, Your Honor. Let's go back to the facts.
Because I'm trying to figure out if they knew it was more than $500, why would they send it back? But I mean, that's not y'all, that's them. But
This was transferred.
Looks like window, damage to the window. The victim also said there was holes in the wall. Let's see.
Okay.
But I don't believe you,
So based on the amount, yeah, it does appear to be over 500, so.
it was
why.
transferred to state court on November 26th.
Okay, so that means they're not messing with it upstairs, so don't need to transfer it back. We might as well just go ahead and proceed with it.
That's
If-
fine. I mean, as long as the defendant knows that restitution amount is
Yeah,
over
restitution.
$500.
Yeah, I'm fine with the restitution being whatever it is.
Okay.
Okay, all right, next is Dorian Nehemiah Brown.
Judge, I was informed by the deputy that Mr. Brown would not be brought to court today for what might be described as security reasons. I don't know. That's all I can really comment on that.
And Your Honor, if I would just add, this case will also be transferred to Superior Court. This is a forgery conspiracy that involves 10 defendants. So 4 are already up at Superior Court. So this case will be transferred as well.
What about the marijuana? Is it, y'all gonna dismiss that? It's marijuana 1 ounce or less.
For Dorian Brown, I just see the forgery. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, we will get rid of that one, but the second
right.
case will be transferred. Yes,
So
Your Honor.
we'll go
It's
ahead
no
and accept the
problem.
no pros on that one. That way we don't get our wires crossed with upstairs. And then
Yes.
the next case, the forgery in the 4th degree, that's gonna be transferred upstairs.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All righty, that works for me. Okay, Ryan Jadodius Brown. Ryan Jadodius Brown.
Judge, Mr. Brown's going to enter a plea pursuant to the offer from the state today. Yes.
Okay. Jonathan Lamont Hardy. Mr. Jonathan Lamont Hardy.
Let me check my notes on that. That's the Judge, that is going to be a negotiated plea today. I did want to speak to Ms. Hagler about the possibility of suspending the fine based on the jail time, but other than that, he wants to accept the recommendation from the state. I do think he is actually is a decent probation candidate, despite the
Really now? Okay, well, we'll talk to him. Next is Vincent Antonio Holland. Mr. Holland is back.
Yes, Judge. That was one. I have spoken to Mr. Holland. I did want to speak to Ms. Hagler about the recommendation. I'm not sure that he is a probation candidate.
No, he's been here a few times. He's probably not good on probation.
And so I wanted to maybe see if we could get something else on the table to present to Mr. Holland. Because he does seem to want to resolve the case, but I don't know if there's going to be success on probation.
Okay. Next is Barry Aliu Mamadou.
I don't believe that person is in custody, Judge.
I don't see them as an active inmate, no. Barry Aliu Mamadou. Ms. Val, I think this is another one that has to be set on an arraignment calendar.
Okay.
They were previously arraigned in 2022, but I'm sorry, they weren't arraigned in 2022. And so I guess it was put back on the calendar to keep up with these cases that are coming up. So let's go ahead and put him back. All right, next is Kenneth Pack. Mr. Pack is back?
Yes, Judge. I did have a conversation with Mr. Pack last night. He does want to resolve his case. Again, I did want to maybe speak to Ms. Hagler.
Not a good probation candidate.
I don't necessarily disagree.
Okay. All right. And Scott Thomas Vincent.
Judge, we're gonna go ahead and resolve that case pursuant to the state's offer.
Okay. And Michael Javon Washington.
Michael Javon Washington, Judge, we're gonna resolve that case through a non-negotiated plea, simply because I don't believe he's a good probation candidate, and he has done, I think he's been in custody since the end of October. So, but we're prepared to go forward on non-negotiated plea for that reason.
Oh, all right. So you have a few things to speak with the state about?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll put you in the courtroom in a breakout room with the state, and then once you all come out of there, we should be able to roll through everybody.
Yes, I think so, Judge.
Okay, let
Your
me get.
Honor,
Yes,
are we still gonna do Brittany Johnson?
it's up to what you tell me, Miss Arnold.
It's the same person. It
Okay.
just, she had different addresses, so they created different screens for her. Waiting on
Okay.
the jail to merge them, but I have both files.
If you could contact someone in Judge Garrett's chambers or office, I would I'll be fine with taking it. It really, yeah. I just want them to be in the same place. So
Okay, I'll do that now.
thank you.
Mhm.
All right, so breakout room number 1, I'm gonna put the courtroom and Miss Hagler, I'm sorry. And I'm gonna open those rooms now. And as soon as y'all come back with an announcement, we'll go ahead and run through everybody on the calendar. Shouldn't take long.
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Thank you.
What's going on? Am I back in the main room or no? No.
It should be. I can see you.
You're
And hear you.
back in the main room.
Judge, I believe me and Ms. Hagler have spoken about most of the cases that we need to speak about. I just need to relay some updated offers, and then we should be ready to go forward with pleas.
Okay, let me know when you're ready and we'll line them up.
Unless you want to go ahead and do Mr. Robbins, who's out of not in custody, and then
That's fine.
all right. Want to go ahead? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that just to get him out of here. Mr. Robbins, you ready to go forward? All right. Come on forward to the, we're going to stand in front of the camera so the judge can see you. We're going to go through everything.
Mr. Robbins, good morning. Can you hear me, sir? Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. You're before the court on case 2021 CR 08068 for failure to yield the right of way, no tag, expired or invalid tag, and drug-related objects. You're represented by the attorney Owen Lynch from the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis. You also have a second case 2021 CR 08612 for theft by shoplifting. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
So the theft by shoplifting is going to be a guilty plea. For the failure to yield would be a no-low plea. The tag would be a guilty plea, and drug objects would be a guilty plea.
Okay. All right. By entering these pleas of no-low and guilty, Mr. Robbins, on each of these cases, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And sir, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir? You have to say yes or no.
Yes, we do.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor, regarding the case ending in 08068, on or about June 5th of 2021, Officer Officer S. Alexander responded to a vehicle accident that was at Riverdale Road near Kingswood Circle, Clayton County, Georgia. The defendant advised he was trying to make a left turn from Kingswood Circle to Riverdale Road and stated that vehicles were stopping and leaving space for him to come out into heavy traffic. The defendant advised that he did not see the second vehicle coming, and when he entered Riverdale Road, he made contact with the second vehicle. The defendant was determined to be the at-fault driver and was issued 2 citations for failure to yield, and as well as for driving on expired tag. Your Honor, the state's recommendation for count 1 is going to be a fine of $100, for count 2, a fine of $100, and for count 3, a fine of $100. For case ending in 08612, on or about July 22nd, 2021, Officer Rutledge responded to a death call at 7050 Highway 85, Riverdale, Clayton County, Georgia, also known as the Walmart. Upon his arrival, he met with the complainant, Lee Granger. He is the Walmart Asset Protection Officer. And Mr. Granger stated that he observed the defendant at the self-checkout register Mr. Granger stated that as he continued to watch the defendant on the Walmart closed circuit TV, he observed the defendant at the register skip scanning a Roku remote, then placing the unpaid merchandise into an empty Walmart bag. Mr. Granger stated that after the defendant completed his transaction, he did proceed towards the grocery exit, passing all points of sale and failing to pay for the unpaid merchandise. At that time, the defendant was arrested and cited for theft by shoplifting, and the amount of the unpaid items totaled $42. Your Honor, the state's offer for for this case, count one, 12 months probation, a fine of $200. The defendant is to complete the theft prevention course. He is to stay away from the incident location. Again, 7050 Highway 85, Riveting, Georgia, 30274, also known as the Walmart. And the probation can terminate upon completion of the condition trial.
All right, Mr. Lynch, anything on behalf of Mr. Robbins?
Yes, Judge. I would ask you to accept the recommendation from the state. Mr. Robbins last time he appeared before this court, we weren't able to get a resolution because at the time he was in an inpatient rehab facility. He did want to resolve the case, but we were unclear how that would work with signing him up for probation while he was in an inpatient facility. So that's why he ended up getting continued. And then of course he did miss a court date. I was unable to unfortunately reach Mr. Robbins, but I did reach him since that time. And I have learned that he successfully completed the inpatient facility in good standing, and that I don't believe, so for those reasons, we would just ask the court to allow his probation to terminate early and to consider waiving the probation fees in this case. I know Mr. Hardy will have to pay a total of, I believe, $500 in fines plus court costs and take the theft prevention course. He does reside in Florida, but he's hoping to get this taken care of as soon as possible so he can no longer have ties with the court and move on with his life.
All right, if he resides in Florida, is he going to be able to make his probation reports? Because that's the quickest way to get rearrested.
Right, and that's why I had tried to negotiate some kind of non-probated situation, but I think the theft prevention course was a bit of a sticking point to that end. I had thought that Mr. Robbins would try to get that theft prevention course done as soon as possible, and then hopefully he could just be probation, and of course pay the fines, and then his probation would be over. I don't know if I couldn't come up with a better solution that the state was willing to accept.
Okay, so Mr. Robbins, explain everything to your probation officer. Let them know what your situation is. I will accept your plea of nolo on the case 2021 CR 08068. I'll accept your nolo on count 1, guilty on counts 2 and 3. Each of those comes with a fine of $100. It'll be $151.50 with the surcharges. You can pay those because this case will run concurrent with the sentence in 2021 CR 08612. So counts 2 and 3 will run concurrent with count 1, and count 1 will run concurrent with case 2021 CR 08612. 12 months probation, a fine in the amount of $200, a theft prevention course. You're not to go back to the Highway 85 Walmart, and this probation can terminate upon completion. I'll also waive the probation supervision fees. Mr. Robbins, the reason I'm willing to do these things is because you have worked to get your sobriety. You went to rehab, how hard that was, and what an unfortunate person you are to have that opportunity. Please continue to work hard on your sobriety, okay? Yeah. All right, so once you speak with the probation expert in the hallway, so what you're going to do is when you leave the courtroom, you're going to go take a right into the next courtroom, courtroom 305. Miss James is in there. If she's with someone, she'll ask you to wait in the hallway. When you come back in and speak with her, get signed up, ask her any questions that are specific to your situation, your work schedule, your travel, any of that. All right. And then make sure that you communicate with your probation officer.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Robbins. And I wish you well on your sobriety journey.
Judge, since we resolved the case, we don't need to do a bench warrant recall, or do we?
It should have resolving the case should recall the bench warrant, but just in case, we can check and make sure about that.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor,
Yes.
since he does reside in Florida, am I to indicate on the sentence for him to report by phone or mail, or no?
No, not yet. Let him do the Mr. Robbins. You can get the theft prevention course done first, and then if you and your probation officer want to come and request phone or mail, I can deal with it then. But do the theft prevention course first.
Judge, did that have to be done in Georgia or in Florida?
Well, I don't know what they got in Florida. It'd probably be easier if you just get it done here.
I live in Florida. I was on my way back to Florida. Well, I left Florida to come here, and I lost my vehicle.
All right. Madam Clerk, you can go ahead and put Izzy. I'm sorry. I was trying to find you on here. Go ahead. You can put phone and mail report.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So, Mr. Robbins, let me be real clear. There's no phone report because their phones ring too much. It's really mail report. The best thing to do, and I tell people this and they don't listen, but please don't be that person who doesn't listen. Go to the post office. Get 12 envelopes that are already stamped. Get 12 copies of the form. So if they give you the form, get 12 copies of it. Go ahead and you'll have your envelopes already addressed. They're already stamped. Keep them so that all you have to do is walk by a post office or drop them in the mailbox, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Robbins, that's the easiest way to get through this. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can go back with the sheriff's office. I mean, you can go back, to probation. I'm sorry.
You just waits out in the hall for the probation officer. Mrs. Taylor, so.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right. So, are we ready on anything on the, you were going to go back and talk to some of your clients.
I was going to, Judge, but if you want, we could go ahead and knock out a couple pleas that don't have, like, for instance, we could do Mr. Washington. That's going to be a non-negotiated plea.
All right.
Standing right next to me.
Mr. Washington,
Ma'am.
raise your right hand for me.
All right, ma'am.
You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Ma'am.
All right. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Michael Javon Washington, 2024 CR 09367 for criminal trespass. Mr. Washington, you're before the court for a non-negotiated plea, which means I'll hear from the state what they recommend. I'll hear from your attorney what he recommends, and then the court will make a decision after that. You understand?
Yeah.
All right. What is your client plea to the offenses before the court, Mr. Lynch?
No contest, Your Honor.
By entering a plea of nolo, Mr. Washington, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about October 27th of 2024, while assigned to the Uniform Patrol Sector 1 Day Watch, Officer D. Montano did respond to a report of a male standing in the doorway and harassing customers at 6629 Mount Zion Boulevard, Morrow, Georgia, Clayton County, 30260, also known as the Sitco Food Mart. When Officer Montano arrived on the scene, he observed the defendant who was standing inside the business, blocking the right door. Officer Montano asked the defendant to step outside the business because the manager did not want him in the residence. Upon running the defendant in GCIC and local, it was determined that the defendant was giving a previous criminal trespass warning to not be on that property on March 25th of 2024 by Clayton County Police Officer D. Brown. That case number is 24017-493. At that time, the defendant was arrested on that same day for return to the property. And also, he was also arrested for return to the property back in April the 20th of 2024 under case number 24023-172. And Officer Montano stated that he asked the defendant if he knew he was trespassing from this location, and the defendant said that he was not allowed to be on the property. Officer Montano did speak to the manager of the property, Mr. Gabriel Discosto, who stated that the defendant keeps coming back to the property and that he wanted to press charges for trespassing. Your Honor, at this time, the state's recommendation is 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a fine of $300. The defendant is to stay away and to not return to the incident location again. 6629 Mount Zion Boulevard, Morrow, Georgia, 30260, also known as the Sitco Food Mart. And also, the defendant does have another, again, criminal trespass from April 20th of 2024. And so the state is asking that you do not accept a nolo plea on this case as well. Thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry, may I proceed?
Go ahead.
So Mr. Washington has been in custody since, I believe, the date of the arrest, which was October 27th of 2024. I've spoken to Mr. Washington. He does intend to go stay with his auntie when he gets out of custody. You know, I do believe Mr. Washington understands the basis of these charges, but he does have some difficulties, you know, retaining information, and I think that may play into why he keeps returning to the location. And I don't think he always has a place to go, although he does have some ability to stay with his auntie from time to time. So, Judge, I would ask that you give him credit for the time he's already served, or give him 30 days to serve. Accept the nolo plea in this case, and with a condition, suspended sentence with a condition that he do not return to the incident location. I did explain to Mr. Washington that he cannot return to that Sitco, not just because of this case, but also because of the previous warning from the owner. So that's what I would request in this case, Your Honor.
All right. So I have some questions. So Mr. Washington has been here before. Are we talking about mental health issues, cognitive disability, a combination of them?
Well, Judge, I'm not qualified to make.
What's your assessment just from dealing with?
My assessment is that he has some cognitive cognitive issues that yeah, I do think he understands the basics of what's going on, but I think that he is maybe slow to comprehend some things that are.
And he's currently not housed, is that correct?
My understanding is that he's going to go live with his aunt when he leaves custody. That's what he reported to me.
Okay. Have you been in contact with any family member?
No, he wasn't able to provide me with a phone number.
Okay. I don't find him to be a good candidate for probation. I do kind of anticipate that without some family support or some support of some kind, that he's going to be back. I would like to know, because usually someone who has these issues is getting a check somewhere and somebody's getting that check, but nobody's helping this gentleman. So the court is going to give him credit since the date of lockup. So credit for time served, and he's to not go back to the sit-go at 6629 Mount Zion, Morrow, Georgia, Clayton County. Mr. Washington, do not go back to the gas station. You hear me?
Amen.
Do not go back to that gas station or they're going to arrest you again.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Amen.
You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And let's see, if we want to go ahead and do Mr. Brown, not
Yeah, the first charge, the marijuana got which
not-
Brown?
Mr. Dorian Brown is not here today.
Yeah, Ryan Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was Mr. Washington. Can we, I think Mr. Holland is in there. Stand right here if you don't mind, sir.
All right, Mr. Brown, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hands down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Ryan DeJodius Brown, 2022 CR 07705, improper lane change, count 1, distracted driving, count 2, license not on person, count 3. You're represented by the law firm of Mr. Holton Dennis. Mr. Owen Lynch is with you at the podium. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, it would be a plea of no contest to count 1, a plea of guilty to count 2, and I think the state was going to null pros count 3 pursuant to the offer I have.
All right. So by entering a plea of nolo to count 1, guilty to count 2, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about April the 29th of 2022, Officer S. Flornery was dispatched in reference to a vehicle accident call at I-75 South and Terra Boulevard, Clayton County, Georgia. Upon his arrival, he observed the defendant's vehicle and the victim's vehicle on the right shoulder of I-75 southbound. Officer Flournoy did make contact with the defendant, who stated that as he was traveling southbound on I-75 South in lane number 2, he turned around to look at a juvenile that was in the back seat of his vehicle when he sideswiped the victim. The defendant was determined to be the at-fault driver and was issued traffic citations for license on a person, distracted driving, and improper lane change. We're on the state's offer. At this time, count 1, a fine of $100, count 2, a fine of $50, and the state is not crossing count 3.
All right, Mr. Lynch.
Judge, I have explained that recommendation to Mr. Brown. He does understand it. He has been in custody since November 23rd, I believe. That's correct. And so I don't know if the court would consider suspending those fines, but if not, we would just ask that he be given at least 30 days to pay.
I'll suspend.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Brown, I'll accept your plea of nolo to count 1, guilty to count 2, $100 fine suspended for credit for time served on count 1, $50 fine suspended for credit for time served on count 2. Mr. Brown, be careful, baby, because you got them babies in the car. If you're looking around and you got babies in the car, sometimes you just got to let them make noise until you can pull over safely, okay? Because you can't divide your attention that way, especially on the expressway. All right? Take care, sir.
You ain't got no fines. Judge, if we want to go ahead and knock out our last easy one, we could do Mr. Vincent.
That's fine.
Can we bring out Mr. Vincent? Or I mean, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I could be working. All right.
Raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Mr. I'm sorry, who was this again?
This is Mr. Scott Thomas Vincent.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Benson. Mr.
It's on the last page, Judge.
Vincent Scott. Okay. Thought I heard Vincent. All right, so Mr. Scott Thomas Vincent, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Scott Thomas Vincent, 2021 CR 06855. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court for no tag or expired or invalid tag, concealing the ID of a motor vehicle and license not on person. You're represented by Mr. Owen Lynch of the law firm of Lister, Holton, Dennis. Mr. Lynch, what did your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, he's going to enter a guilty plea to count 1, and pursuant to the offer, count 2 and count 3 will be null pros.
Right. By entering a plea of guilty, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And sir, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. You understand all of these things for me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about August 2nd of 2020, Lieutenant W. Toro was working an authorized off-duty security job for Prologis Property Management when at Airport South Parkway, specifically 640 Airport South Parkway, Clayton County, Georgia, when he encountered the defendant in his vehicle that was parked up to the building by the PED door. The defendant had items in his hands. He had other objects sitting on the ground next to the dumpster that the vehicle was parked at. During the officer's investigation, he checked on the vehicle's registration and determined that the vehicle registration was canceled, and it was initially assigned to a Michael James Schwiderick, Schwiderek. Upon being asked by the officer, the defendant admitted that he and his wife, Crystal L. Edwards, had bought the car about a month ago from Mr. Michael James Schwiderick. Also, during the officer's investigation, he noticed that there was a Georgia license plate found under the driver's seat. He noticed that there was no expiration decal on it. The defendant admitted that the plate did belong to his wife, Crystal Edwards. The officer did examine the decal on the plate on the SUV and found that the decal was from a different Georgia tag, RTA 0640. But the plate was registered to a REG 4111. The defendant did admit that he and his wife had put that decal on it, but he knew, Your Honor, and the defendant was issued citations for concealing the ID of a motor vehicle, failure to have a license on his person. The officer did ask for the defendant's driver's license, and he did not have one on his person. And then he was also issued a citation for a tag that was expired or invalid. These events did occur in Clayton County, Georgia. And so, Your Honor, for count one, the state's recommendation is a fine of $100 to be suspended, and the state is not processing counts 2 and 3.
All right. Mr. Vincent, where were you coming from and where you headed?
That night?
Well, just in general, like, are y'all Georgia residents?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you get another copy of your license?
I've had one since, man. This is from 2020, so.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So I'm going to accept the plea of guilty to count 1, counts 2 and 3 will be no pros, and I'll go ahead and send you to pay a fine in the amount of $100, and I'll suspend it for credit for time served.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Y'all be safe.
Maybe we can keep it rolling here and go ahead and do Mr. Jonathan Lamont Hardy. He'd already agreed to the recommendation from the state. I just want to inform him of something very quickly when he comes out. Can you bring up Mr. Hardy?
My rule, I'll arraign them naked, just not spitting.
Mr. Hardy is a respectful, intelligent person who has his wits about him.
I just want to know that he has clothes on. That's all.
He does. The facts of the case may not jive with what I just said, but based on our conversation,
I once made an equal protection argument about a lady who was homeless, but was charged with indecent exposure. Because here was the thing: public indecency hits differently if your top is exposed.
you know, that is a good equal protection argument, Judge. I think
Yeah, the judge didn't buy it, but he still let me off on my secondary argument. But I thought it was my best. I thought it was my best argument. Mr. Hardy, how are you, sir?
Can I just make Mr. Hardy aware of one thing before we?
Okay, go ahead.
So everything we talked about, she did agree to get rid of the fine for credit for time served. So it'd be 12 months probation, 40 hours community service. Do not return to the incident location. And I'm gonna ask the judge to waive the probation fee. She's not gonna accept the no low plea, so it has to be a guilty plea.
That's right.
Okay, you ready to go forward?
Yes.
Judge, we're ready to go forward.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Hardy. Raise your right hand for me, sir.
Yes,
You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
I definitely do.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on 2024 CR 09243 for Jonathan Lamont Hardy, public indecency. You're represented by Mr. Lynch with the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense before the court?
Judge, she'll enter a plea of guilty.
All right, by entering a plea of guilty, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about November the 7th of 2024, Officer D. Rutledge was dispatched to 6817 Highway 85, Georgia, Riverdale, Georgia 30274, Clayton County, regarding a disturbance call. This is also known as the Wendy's restaurant. Upon his arrival, he made contact with the defendant, who verbally told Officer Rutledge that he defecated on the sidewalk in front of the store. Officer Rutledge spoke with the manager inside the store, and she said that she wanted the defendant to leave the property and to not return. Your Honor, those are the facts of the case. The state's recommendation is 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a fine of $300 to be suspended, and the defendant is to stay away and to not return to 6817 Highway 85, Riverdale, Georgia 30274, also known as the Wendy's restaurant.
Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Judge. I did explain that recommendation to Mr. Hardy. He does want to accept it. I did inquire as to his ability to report to probation and to comply with conditions of probation. And he believes that he can. He does know that he's going to have to report to this building for probation.
Okay, does he have stable housing?
I have a stable address, yes, ma'am. I'm not stable in housing, but I do have an address that's in Clayton County.
Okay, how are you gonna get back and forth, Mr. Hardy?
MARTA.
Okay, do you have a source of income?
No, ma'am, not right now.
Okay, well, MARTA costs money, Mr. Hardy.
Yes, ma'am, my all-day pass is $9. I'm aware of that. I was in between jobs. I was working at CKS on Fulton Industrial. I'm gonna try to get back over there. Everything was going good. I just got sick, so I'm gonna try to go back over there. If not, it's through a temp service, which is top notch. I'm gonna reach out to them and try to get back employed.
What kind of work were you doing?
It's a bottle company, so we was boxing up bottles. It's like a mold, like your regular Pepsi bottle, bleach cleaner bottles.
I got you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what's the alternative, Mr. How long has he been in?
I think he's been in since November the 7th, Judge. Is that correct?
Yes,
Since the incident
that's
that
correct.
he had, yeah, that's accurate, Judge, November the 7th.
Is this a subsequent charge or is this like this not a first?
It's his first of this. I verified that with Ms. Hager. Yeah, he doesn't have a previous.
Okay. So Mr. Hardy, I'm gonna give you credit for time served, 20 days credit for time served,
Thank you, Your Honor.
balance suspended, as long as you do not go back to the Wendy's at 6817 Highway 85 Riverdale Road, Clayton County, Georgia. Now, Mr. Hardy, I don't want to see you again on one of these, okay?
Definitely not, Your Honor. Definitely not. I'm talking, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Hardy, go and get that job back, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. All right, who's next? Or if you guys want to talk, that's fine.
I think we may need to take a break to,
Okay, that's fine.
All
Let me know when you're back.
thank you, Judge. Oh, right. Judge, I believe we're ready to go forward on all the remaining cases except Miss Brittany Johnson.
Okay, give me a minute.
Okay, where you want the ones you already worked?
Right here. Hey, man, I don't appreciate you not acknowledging.
Investigating
I only
Curray,
have some stats
Investigating
where you can't
Curray, mute your phone, mute your device. We can hear you. Please mute your device, Investigating Curray.
Just, I'm just saying.
Investigating
Make sure I didn't mix anything up. It might be my OCD.
And keep
Investigating
those-
Curray. Investigating Curray, can you please mute your device?
I'm gonna have to kind of check them.
Okay.
But man, this is because of you. I just want.
I put that back in that bin, your traffic bench trials.
Okay. Oops. Sorry. I am muted now.
We haven't been talking for the past 5 minutes, so that was from 15 minutes ago.
We just got.
Remember that?
No, we just.
Yeah, I'm impressed with all.
You want to talk to Ms. Johnson? I'll go over the pictures. Except for today. You got the one. But,
Just wanted to make sure, not sure if you heard my announcement, we are ready to go forward on everything with the exception of Brittany Johnson, who we're holding on.
Yes, just take it for a moment.
Okay, absolutely.
All right, I'm ready. Mr. Lynch?
We're ready on Mr. Abjidamike. That's gonna be Mr. Taylor, and then Mr. Benton, and then Mr. Pack and Mr. Holland.
All right, just bring them out. I don't need to know the order until they get out of here.
Sorry, Judge.
Someone up here with me. And we're going to talk to the judge, and she's on the computer screen, okay? Here we go. And so just step right here.
Good morning. Raise your right hand for me, sir.
Raise your hand. Can you raise your hand? He's shackled, Your Honor.
I got you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Okay.
Say yes.
True.
I want to say yes, ma'am. So
Yes,
you
yes.
can
Okay.
out so she can hear you, okay?
All right, and this is Mr. John Abkitamike.
That's
I'm
correct.
sorry. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, sir. I'm trying.
Okay.
You're before the court for criminal trespass on case 2024 CR 09239. You're represented by attorney Taz Taylor. Mr. Taylor, what is your client plea to the offenses before the court?
Your Honor, he pleads nolo contendere to the criminal trespass, a single count.
All right. So, Mr. Abjitimike, you're before the court and you're entering a plea of nolo. By doing so, sir, you give up the right to have a trial. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And sir, if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about November the 5th of 2024, at 6234 Spine Road, Atlanta, Georgia, 30337, Clayton County, also known as the Hartsfield, Atlanta, Jackson International Airport. Officer Dwayne Warren was told that the defendant went into the Piedmont store, made coffee, and left the store without paying for the coffee. Officer Warren did speak with the store employee, and she informed the officer that they wanted the defendant to leave the store. The defendant was transported to the police precinct, and it was determined that the defendant had a criminal trespass warning from the airport with the date of August the 20th of 2020. At that time, the defendant was arrested for criminal trespass. Your Honor, the state's recommendation at this time is 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a fine of $300. The defendant is to also stay away and not return to the incident location in 6234 Spine Road, Atlanta, Georgia 30337. And the state is requesting that you do not accept a no plea, as the defendant was given a previous criminal trespass warning on August the 20th of 2020. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a non-negotiated plea. He's pleading no to the charge of criminal trespass. We ask that he be given a 12-month suspended sentence and credit for time served. Mr. Abigiti. Thank you. Has been in custody since November 5th, so he's been in custody for 28 days. And as the prosecutor indicated, the criminal trespass warning was from 2020.
All right. So, Mr. Abgitamike, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 30 days credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to the Hartsville, Jackson, Atlanta International Airport or the MARTA station attached to the airport without a ticket for travel on that day.
Yeah.
All right. So don't go back to the airport unless you're flying somewhere, Mr. Abijike.
And I'll explain that further.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor. So they're getting very strict.
All right. Who's next?
Okay, you go back, but they're going to let you out today.
Who's next?
Mr. Benson. I had to see the whole thing. Wrap it up with my stuff. I'm about to. I'm going on with today.
All right. Who's this?
Cameron, there's a judge, and if this goes out, you'll be able to see them up there. Okay. Yes, sir. Mr. Benton, Your Honor, DeAndre Benton.
All right, Mr. DeAndre Lameek Benton. You're before the
cases before us.
I'm sorry.
He has two cases.
Yeah. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus DeAndre Lameek Benton, 2024 CR 09376 for simple battery, family violence, and simple battery. You're represented by Attorney Taz Taylor, who's with the law firm of Lister, Holt, and Dennis. On the second case, 2024 CR 09377, DeAndre Lameek Benton. You're represented on this case by Mr. Taz Taylor for the criminal trespass. Mr. Taylor, what is your client plead to the offenses on the cases before this court?
I have a question.
One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Benton has a question for me.
Sure.
I was on the record. I was never charged with criminal trespass, and I was only charged with they never brought me the charge.
Thank you for that moment, Your Honor. We're ready to proceed.
I'm sorry.
All right, so sir, what is your client plead to the offenses on the case ending in 09376, simple battery, family violence, and simple battery?
That's guilty, Your Honor, to count 1. And count 2 should merge. And
on criminal trespass on the case ending in 09377?
that'll be a guilty plea, Your Honor.
All right. How old is Mr. Benson?
I'm 25 now.
All right. So by entering a plea of guilty on case 09376 to count 1, count 2 will merge, and a plea of guilty on case ending in 09377, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, Mr. Benton?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor, regarding case meeting 09376, on or about November the 11th of 2024, Officer McIntosh was dispatched to 895 Needle Drive, Forest Park, Georgia, Clayton County, in reference to a family violence incident. On the scene, he made contact with the homeowner, Mr. Henry Fisher. Mr. Fisher advised that the defendant was staying at his house and was being loud, so he asked him to quiet down. Mr. Fisher stated that the defendant was being disrespectful and argumentative, causing them to argue. Mr. Fisher stated that in the midst of the argument, the defendant started pushing him, causing his glasses to fall off of his face. Mr. Fisher advised that the defendant, that they have been living in the same residence for 4 months. Your Honor, at this time, also, Your Honor, Officer Moriarty, Moriaty, also spoke with a witness on the scene, Mr. Antonio Matthews. And Mr. Matthews did advise that he was in the room when he heard the argument. And when he came out, he saw the defendant pushing the victim, Mr. Fisher, resulting in his glasses being knocked off. Your Honor, for count 1, the state's recommendation is 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a fine of $300. The defendant is to complete the family violence intervention program and to have no violent or harassing contact with the victim. Count 2 will merge. Regarding the case ending in 09377, pursuant to the state warrant, on or about September the 10th of 2024 at 832 Cascade Drive, Forest Park, Clayton County, Georgia. The defendant intentionally caused damage to the property of the victims, Kenrick Fairchild, Joseph Marcos, and Ryan Smith. Specifically, the defendant unlawfully entered Fairchild's residence and deliberately removed a bedroom window, taking it to an unknown location. The defendant recklessly damaged Fairchild's TV stand, fan, speaker, and microwave by throwing these items on the ground, resulting in significant functional damage. The defendant also unlawfully accessed the bedrooms of Ryan Smith's residence without consent, removed Mr. Smith's clothing, and discarded it into a trash can. The defendant disposed of keys belonging to another property managed by Mr. Smith. Furthermore, the defendant intentionally damaged Mr. Smith's bed's footboard. He threw the mattress into the front yard, kicked in a bedroom door, damaged the door frame, and tore the blades off the ceiling fan. The defendant also removed the Ring camera from the living room and threw it into the roadway. The total damage pursuant to the warrant exceeded $500. Surveillance video did confirm the defendant was seen entering through the rear bedroom window of the home at the time. Your Honor, for count one, 12 months probation, 20 hours community service, and the victim is also requesting restitution amount of $5,500.
$5,000?
Yes, ma'am, $500. Based on the damages.
Okay, Mr.
Excuse me.
Mr. Taylor, yes, Your Honor. Regarding case 9376, we do generally accept the state's recommendation. However, given the nature of the relationship between the two parties, we feel that an anger management class rather than family violence intervention program, because those two parties just living together, that would.
Is this like a rooming house situation?
Well, according to police report, they were living in the same bed. So
they were what?
Living in the same bed. That's what the police report said in the home. So no, they were an item based off of that fact.
Actually, no, it's not the case. People often frequently just do not have the money and make accommodations where they can.
Well, it says that Mr. Fisher's told the officer that Mr. Benton sits in the same bed as him, and they have it at the residence for the last 4 months.
Let me ask this. So there's two cases. Are these from the same? These are two 2024 cases. Are they from the same location?
No.
No, different one. Still in Forest Park, but different location.
And based on accusation, they couldn't have lived together for 4 months because these are two incidences where Mr. Benton lived at one location on September 10th and he lived at a separate location on November the 11th. So that's 3 months apart. Again.
Well, if they were living at the home at the time of the incident, it would still constitute family violence.
And we're just asking that the court look at the nature of the circumstances between the two parties. And we feel an anger management class is more appropriate than a family violence, which is.
Okay, well, let's see if we can avoid this from happening a third time. What's the issue with Mr. Benton? Where is he going to live? What kind of situation feels the court that he has some stability?
Oh,
okay. Where are you going to live once you're released?
Well, I was going back home, now. The situation where you were speaking.
You're going back home, and where's that?
North Carolina.
He's going back home to North Carolina, Your Honor.
Okay, what brought you here to Atlanta or to the Atlanta area, Jonesboro?
I was just visiting out here, and I kind of got stranded out here, got stuck. So I came up with some money, and I, got a little room at home. That was when I was living at the 832 Cascade Drive address, and my property was illegally thrown out. I didn't just go damage anybody's property. Long story short, I came across Mr. Fisher, and I wasn't living at his house for like 4 months. It was only like what? So, I mean, but my alternative plan was to go back to my residence in North Carolina, which is Charlotte. But
okay, how do you plan to get back to Charlotte? What's the plan?
I already have a plan. I already have the bus tickets and everything lined up for it.
Has the bus tickets, Your Honor, to go back to?
I'm just waiting to be released.
The bus tickets for when?
I've already been, do I answer her? I've already been communicating with people on the outside. So
a bus ticket, you can buy a bus ticket for the future. It's not quite like an airplane ticket where you have to have a specified reservation. You can purchase a bus ticket and then go to the Greyhound bus terminal, say.
So here's my thing. If I'm gonna put Mr. Benton on probation, he has to be a good probation candidate. I get that family violence intervention program is appropriate based on the fact that they were living together, but it sounds like the nature of the situation was more room and house than romantic relationship. Because he flipped pretty quickly to another. they call it, what do they call it? Bed
Pad split, ma'am?
pad split. That's it. Thank you, sir. Where people are sharing, they share rooms, they share bed, depending on the level of need. A lot of these things that wouldn't make sense to some of us because of the situation folk find themselves in. So people are doing bed split, people are, living in situations that, we might not want to do, but they work for them at the time. So this is what I'm going to do. Mr. Benton, when you leave jail, where are you going? Like in the immediate, not I'm going back to North Carolina, but where are you going tomorrow?
Like, if I was to be released tonight,
Yes.
I'll be going to a friend's residence. I was trying to make a call so I can bring that like the address to the court when I came here, but the officer was I was in a rush.
Okay, so you have some place to stay tonight?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. Here's the thing. This is the deal I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna sentence you to 12 months probation on case 2024 CR 09376. 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a $300 fine. I'll suspend the fine. And the family violence intervention, I'll turn that into anger management. And you're to have no violent or harassing contact with Mr. Henry Fisher. Do you have any reason to go back there?
Just to get my property that was there.
Okay, you'll have one opportunity to make an appointment through the sheriff's office. So when you want to go get your stuff, you got to make an appointment. You got to either call them or come to the sheriff's office and make an appointment for them to go with you to get your stuff. Okay, they're not going to carry anything. They're not going to transport anything. They're just going to be there to keep the peace. Count 2 will merge. This will run concurrent with the case 2024 CR 09377, 12 months probation, 20 hours community service, and restitution in the amount of $5,500. That's a lot of restitution.
Your Honor, we're requesting a hearing on that.
All right, so we'll do a hearing to be announced. I'm afraid to say we're going to announce a hearing if we don't have a place to reach Mr. Benton.
I understand, Your Honor.
Ms. Val, do we have a hearing date and time that we can give Mr. Benton? Because I don't know that he's going to be stable.
For restitution?
Yes.
So how soon are you looking? You want to do it on December 17th?
Yeah, that's fine. And if we can do it by video, that'll be fine too.
Will he be able to come on by video or should he come into the courtroom?
Mr. Benton, you can come by courtroom or video on that day, okay? But you gotta be here, you understand?
Okay, how do I do that?
I'll explain to him how the Zoom.
Okay, and you can come in from the library, wherever you have access, or you can come to court. Okay, probably be better if you came to court because you might not have access to a laptop or Wi-Fi, okay?
He does have an iPhone, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, then you could do it through your phone, but I want to make sure you're here.
Yes.
And that's at 10 a.m., Ms. Val?
Yeah, we'll just keep it on a Tuesday calendar, the 17th, 10 a.m.
All right.
Ms. Whitson, just make sure that that's scheduled with Ms. Brenda.
Okay. All right. So I've changed that to anger management. It's going to run concurrent. You can go back with the sheriff's office at this time. Just remember December 17th, 2024, you're going to be either in court by video or in court in person. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. And it's just to discuss the restitution. The criminal part is done. The restitution part is what we're going to be talking about. Okay.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next. Okay, so Vincent Antonio Holland. I have Mr. Holland. I have Mr. Pack.
Yes, can we do Mr. Pack next?
And then if we're gonna, we're not able to do Miss Brittany Johnson today. and because there's some mishap with the elevators over at the jail, so they're not going to be able to bring her up, but when they do bring her, she will be on our calendar.
Did you want to set it, Judge?
Yeah, you can put her on the next jail calendar.
Okay, so this resets to next year count.
Yeah, but they said something's going on over at the jail.
I'm not sure if, what's, the deputy was indicating they were bringing her over, but I don't know when y'all got that communication.
Well, if she's here, fine. If she's not, but I just was told that she's not coming, but if she's coming, I'm fine with that.
Okay, I guess maybe we'll see if she's here by the time we get done with everything.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to the clerk's office, Melissa Riveting, who has been with the county for 15 years. Yay, Miss Melissa.
Great job.
Good job.
Good job.
Kenneth Pack.
Okay.
If they could, and then we got Vincent Holland, and then I think we're. Hold on. 1 second.
Miss Waukesha Lawrence, 5 years. Hey, Miss Waukesha, thank you. So proud of y'all. All right, this is Mr. Holland.
Oh, this is Kenneth Pack, Judge.
Oh, Mr. Pack. Okay. Mr. Pack, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down, Mr. Pack. You're before the court on 2024 CR 09375 for public transit violation, obstruction of an officer, and criminal trespass. Mr. Lynch of the law firm of Lister, Holton, Dennis, what did your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, she's going to enter guilty, please. This is going to be a non-negotiated plea, though, based on my conversation with Mr. Pack.
All right, by entering a plea of guilty to counts 1, 2, and 3, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about November the 13th of 2024, while patrolling at Atlanta Airport Model Station, Clayton County, Georgia, Officer, B. Milay, M-E-L-A-Y, Officer K. Gilkey, G-I-L-K-E-Y, and Corporal R. Sparks observed the defendant push the fare gate and walk through it to enter the paid area without paying the required $2.50 fare. Officer Gilkey attempted to stop and arrest the defendant, but the defendant pushed Officer Gilkey and ran to the platform. The defendant was later apprehended on the platform, and then he was handcuffed with his hands behind his back, and escorted to the processing station without incident. Your Honor, during the officer's check, it was determined that the defendant had a MARTA suspension that returned positive for a permanent ban. At that time, the defendant was charged accordingly. Your Honor, at this time, the state's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months to serve, 90 days, balance suspended. Count 2, 12 months to serve, 90 days, balance suspended. and count 3, 12 months to serve, 90 days bond suspended, to all run concurrent.
Okay. Mr. Lynch?
Judge, I explained the recommendation to Mr. Pack. Mr. Pack would like the court to consider a little bit less time than the 90 days. You know, he has struggles with homelessness,
suicidalness, needing to be around family members.
Right.
Not wanting to miss my Christmas and my support group, and it'll make me very depressed around people that's extorting in this jail during Christmas, and I don't want to get suicidal inside jail just because I'm broke and trying not to be a threat to the community by snatching luggage bags from the airport. I'm sorry for talking.
Mr. Pack, I get it, but you've been here a few times, and so what this tells me is every time I let you out, you don't go to your support system. You come back to the airport.
You need my support system. I get Social Security. I just need my proof of incarceration and my ID. I'm doing the best I can. I'm not snatching tablets, Rolexes, wings. I'm not stealing plates. I'm doing the best I can. But I recently became my own payee, and people just push me around, and even people downtown don't want to help. I don't have to take risks riding to Hartsville to talk to rich people on airports, or people in the local community would help me, but I guess they got all the expensive. Do you know I found expensive plates in the trash recently instead of people just handing me their food they wouldn't finish?
I can imagine. Mr. Pack, Mr. Lynch, what's your recommendation? Let's talk.
You know, Judge, I would think that 45 days would be more reasonable in this case, or if not that, you know, I thought 45 days might be reasonable.
Whew.
I mean, as Mr. Pack does point out, you know, his charges are largely based on, you know, him not having anywhere to go and not.
I get that, Mr. Lynch, but the issue is, so they have closed the airport, closed.
Oh,
anyone who does not have business at the airport, closed. So Mr. Pack keeps going back to the airport, and I get it, Mr. Pack. I get it for somebody who doesn't have support or doesn't have housing. The airport is light, bright, food is available. People will give you money. It's warm to get out of the elements, but you can't keep going back to the airport, sir.
can I try Linux instead?
Nope.
I can't.
It's not a good.
No.
All right.
So, okay. 12 months to serve 60 days. Balance will be suspended as long as Mr. Pack does not go back to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta Airport or the MARTA station next to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta Airport, or any MARTA station, because he has a MARTA ban.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is there 2 for 1 in this jail?
That is up to the sheriff. It may be, but I don't know.
So I have 60 days to serve.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's to run concurrent on each of the 3 charges.
Okay. All right.
All right, Mr. Pack, let me just explain something to you. You can't just put your needs over everybody else's needs. I get that you need a place to be, but also think about the people at the airport or the people wherever you go needing to be secure in where they are and what they have, okay?
Okay.
All right, you'd be better off asking the chaplain to help you find a place to stay, like the Salvation Army, so you can get your documents back. Clayton Center.
I gotta ask you a question.
Yes.
I was approved to be my own payee back in January 2023. Since then, I've been locked up and haven't received a single check.
Okay. If you need your identification, you have to go to the Clayton Center. They have a program where they can help you get your ID.
But my check should still be there.
Your checks will be held until you're out of jail.
But
They won't pay while you're in
I don't
jail.
have to reapply for my check, do I?
You shouldn't have to.
I just gotta show them that I did like maybe 30 to 45 days in jail since last year.
Yes, sir.
I could be my own payee and get my 910 a month in my name.
Sir,
I already got my
I don't-
910 a month in my name.
I don't know for sure because I didn't deal with that kind of law before I was a judge. So I'm not clear.
I'm just
But I
talking
do
about
know that if you need your ID, the Clayton Center here in Clayton County will help you with that. Talk to the chaplains before they release you.
Okay, chaplain for ID, then I can get proof of incarceration to turn on the check. I remember that much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and who's next?
I think Mr. Holland is,
Okay, Mr. Holland.
unless we get Miss
Johnson.
Miss Johnson, right?
So Ms. Johnson is up.
She is not up yet, Your Honor. She has to
Okay.
be brought over from the other courtrooms holding cell, so we need to speak with her once she's brought over.
I think so. Oh, is it frozen? I think we're frozen. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. That's crazy. The judge is on the computer, so she can see you, she can hear you. If this goes blank.
All right, Mr. Holland,
Yes,
raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Holland, you're before the court on Vincent Antonio Holland, 2024 CR 09336 for public indecency. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offense before the court?
Judge, he pleads guilty. This will be a negotiated plea.
All right, by entering a plea of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And sir, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Judge, we don't mind stipulating to a factual basis.
Okay, why are we stipulating?
I just, thought,
I mean, we stipulate to the other ones. I mean, we might as well hear it. Go ahead, Miss Hagler.
Thank you, Your Honor. On or about November the 9th of 2024, Officer Christopher Maderer, Maderer, responded to 740 Georgetown Court, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, regarding a public indecency. Upon his arrival, he spoke with the victim, Ms. Lisa Mitchell. She stated that around 1425, she saw the defendant in her backyard, pulled out his private part and started to masturbate. She said that the defendant continued playing with himself and his hair while walking back and forth in her backyard. She said that the defendant left the scene, changing his clothes, and walked towards Terra Boulevard. Officer Maderer did a property check on Terra Boulevard and made contact with the defendant at the Chevron gas station at 6714 Terra Boulevard. At that point, he was detained and driven back to the incident location. Officer Maderer did take a picture of the defendant so that the victim could ID him, and she was able to ID the defendant. At that time, the defendant was placed under arrest. Your Honor, the state's offer is 12 months to serve, 90 days, balance suspended. The defendant is to have no contact with the victim. Again, her name is Miss Lisa Mitchell. And the defendant is to not return and to stay away from 740 Georgetown, all one word, Court, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236.
All right, Mr. Lynch.
Judge, that was my understanding. We would ask the court accept the recommendation from the state. From speaking to Mr. Holland, my understanding is that he comes here from New Orleans, and he's hoping to get back there whenever he is able to. I'm not sure.
Mr. Holland has been before me by 6 or 8 times. This is the first time I'm hearing that New Orleans is an option and that he plans to go back there. I would be glad for Mr. Holland to go back to New Orleans and hopefully get connected with his family, but not before he does these 90 days. All right, so Mr. Holland, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 90 days. Balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to 740 Georgetown Court, Jonesboro, Georgia, Clayton County, and you have no contact with Lisa Mitchell. All right?
That's man.
All right. All right. And Johnson, Brittany.
Judge, Mr. Taylor is speaking to her right now.
Okay, what is she charged with? Can I get at least that much?
Yes,
Because my understanding is she has 2 cases and I don't have either of them.
I believe one of them is a battery family violence.
Okay, well, can you get me the actual
Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to do it right now. So 2024 CR 09340, and the charges are battery, family violence for count 1, count 2, battery, count 3, simple battery, family violence, and then count 4, simple battery.
Okay, and then on the 2022 CR 07702.
Yes, Your Honor. The charge is simple battery.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me know when she's here.
Thank you, Judge.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Come on up. So the judge is going to appear by video in our courtroom. Okay. Did you already see Judge Garrett earlier? Okay.
All right, Brittany Johnson, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Ms. Johnson, you're before the court on 2022 CR 07702 for simple battery. You're also before the court on case 2024 CR 09340 for battery family violence, count 1, battery, count 2, simple battery family violence, count 3, and simple battery, count 4. Mr. Taylor, what is your client plead to the cases and the charges before the court?
Yes, Your Honor. On case CR 07702, my client pleads guilty to the single charge of simple battery. To case CR 09340, my client pleads guilty to the charge of battery family violence. Counts 2, 3, and 4 should merge.
Okay, by entering a plea of guilty on each of your cases, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And Ms. Johnson, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Regarding the case ending in 07702, pursuant to the probable cause affidavit in the file on or about May the 3rd of 2022, Officer D. Thomas was dispatched to 7149 Mount Zion Boulevard, Jonesboro, Clayton County, Georgia. In reference to a dispute, the defendant did make physical contact with the victim, Sonya, Sony Clayton, by grabbing her right arm and forcefully pushing it out of the way when Ms. Clayton was attempting to retrieve children from the defendant. The witness, Ms. Tamara, Tamara Spalding, who is a DFACS caseworker, stated that she observed the defendant grab the victim's arm and push it out of the way while saying, "Don't touch my children." At that point, the victim did advise that she wanted to press charges. Your Honor, for this case, the state's recommendation is 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a fine of $300, anger management, and the defendant is to have no contact with the victim, Miss Sonya Clayton. For the case ending in 09340, on or about November the 3rd of 2024, Officer John Moore was dispatched to 784 Jesters Lake Drive in reference to a battery family violence. Officer Moore made contact with the victim, Michael Wilson, who stated that the defendant, he and the defendant was in a verbal altercation over music being too loud. Mr. Wilson advised that the defendant did spray him in the face with pepper spray and left the incident location. At that time, the victim advised that the defendant did not have a phone. Officer Moore was able to contact the defendant. He did observe that the victim, Mr. Wilson, did have inflammation and tears around his eyes. And upon entering the incident location, he was able to determine through his knowledge, training, and experience that pepper spray had been used inside of the residence. He did observe the odor of the pepper spray upon entering the residence. Also, medical personnel were having reactions to the pepper spray that was inside the incident location as well. At that time, Officer Moore did obtain warrants for the defendant for battery family violence. Your Honor, for count one, the state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 30 days, balance probated, anger management, a fine of $500, 40 hours of community service, and the defendant is to have no violent or harassing contact with the victim. And counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge.
Okay, Mr. Taylor. So Sonya Clayton, she's involved with DFACS?
She is the
Yes.
foster parent. She's the foster parent of Miss Johnson's children. I believe Miss Spalding was the DFACS worker. There was an incident, and this is roughly 3 years ago, an incident while Miss Johnson was having visitation while Miss Clayton was present. The children are still residing with Miss Clayton, is that correct? She is able to have visitation now. She goes through her mother to arrange the visitation with her children at that time.
Okay, let me, on the second one, Michael Wilson. Who's Michael Wilson?
That's Mr. Johnson, Miss Johnson's father. And there was a verbal altercation between the two. I think if this is a scenario or situation where, yes, Miss Johnson sprayed pepper spray. She had reason to spray the pepper spray because there was an altercation with her father being aggressive towards her. She left the scene, so the only information that the officers were able to receive were from her father. And we're not disputing that she sprayed the pepper spray. That's why we're entering our plea today. But the situation is not where Miss Johnson was the actual aggressor in the situation.
Ms. Johnson, come forward, talk to me. Let's see what's going on. Mr. Taylor, is there a mental health issue that I should be aware of?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I've been speaking with Miss Johnson, and she's perfectly.
Hey, Deputy Woods.
Hi.
Okay, go ahead.
And very articulate.
All right, Ms. Johnson. Okay, let's talk first about what's going on. Why are your children not with you?
Okay, yes, ma'am. I need to find housing. At the time, I had just had my 7th child, and my rental lease was up, and so I have to find a new place for them.
Your 7th child?
Yes, ma'am. At the same time of my moving off of my rental lease, and so I just have to find a housing for them.
Are you on a DFACS reunification plan?
I was, but due to the shutdown, it's been the department has been closed, so I've been trying to find someone to speak with about.
No, ma'am. DFACS never closed. I used to work for DFACS, so I'm clear on how this works. So
Human resource place.
No, the reunification plan is something that you come up with the social worker and DFACS manager at the division that handles your children. That they
Fine with that. I mean,
huh?
Everything's okay. I visit with them once a week. Everything's okay.
Okay, so no, that's not okay. You don't have your children. They're in foster care. I'm trying to figure out how we get you back to a roll call straight, as it were. Then now who are you living with?
I'm living with my mom right now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but your mom is not the person who has the children.
No,
And how old is your oldest child?
she's 10.
You have 7 children, 10 and under?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there multiples?
They're all a year apart.
Is there a father involved?
No, ma'am.
How old are you, ma'am?
I'm 34.
You're 34.
Yes.
And that presumably means you're still fertile. Can we avoid having any more children until we can get our life straight?
Yes, my life is good.
I can't hear you.
My life is good. It's just with the timing with my
Ms. Johnson, what you're not gonna do is lie to me, because you got 2 cases pending before me, and the one is a 2024 that happened in November. So no, ma'am, you're in a green jumpsuit. Your life is not good. Your children are with somebody else in foster care. Your life is not good. So let's not gloss over what's going on.
Right.
Are we sure there's no mental health issues, Mr. Taylor?
I can't speak absolutely to that. I've just met Ms. Johnson, as I told the court earlier. She's very articulate and seems to be functioning well. I don't know outside the courtroom if there's any other issues that aren't.
Ms. Johnson, my fear is for the children at this point. The last thing I want is for you to have more babies for somebody else to take care of. Are we clear? Are we clear?
Yes.
Because that's not fair. If you have the babies, but then they go to somebody else for them to take care of, you just having babies, but you're making your kids don't have you as the mother in their life. You see them once a week. And number 2, you're making a hardship for somebody else to try and keep 7 kids. And number 3, if you have siblings, they should be raised together. But if you got 7 kids, it is hard to keep 7 kids together. Imagine what your 10-year-old must be thinking, like, I'm in foster care, I got all these siblings, I'm the oldest one, I don't have my mama, she sees me once a week, if possible, but you've been in jail, so you haven't seen them since you've been in here. Miss Johnson.
Do you have any?
The what?
She asked if there's any resources available if the court could provide.
Ooh, Miss Johnson, I wish I knew.
Okay.
I do know that condoms are cheaper than child support or child care, and you don't have to keep having babies. Let's start there. Can we start there?
Yes.
Can we commit to not having more babies right now?
Yes.
I mean, babies are a blessing, but that's if you can take care of them and make their lives good. You're not doing that. You're just having them, but you're not blessing them with a good life. You get me? So my concern is for them. But when you keep telling me life is good, everything is good, but you don't have your children, they're in defects, you see them once a week, you got 2 battery cases in front of me, that's not a good life. And Mr. Taylor can't tell me, but something must be going on. When was the last time you had a job, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I'm taking online classes at Southern New Hampshire University.
Okay. You saying what now?
I'm a student online at Southern New Hampshire University.
Okay, ma'am. I've been a student in person and still had a job.
Okay.
When was the last time you had a job? Stop telling me what you think sounds good and talk to me straight up. When was the last time you had a job?
I work for myself.
What are you doing?
I do hair.
You do what?
I do hair sometimes.
What you do to it?
I do braiding, sometimes washing sets. I mobilely travel to the clients or they come over. Yes, ma'am.
So you're a kitchen beautician?
No.
Do you have a certificate? Do you have a license?
I have my, what'd you say, license?
Yes, ma'am.
Beautician's license. No, it's not.
So you're a kitchen beautician?
No.
What do you mean, no, ma'am? If you don't have a licensed if you're not a licensed cosmetologist or beautician, then you just catching as catch can.
Okay, last time I had a job was about 4 months ago.
What were you doing?
I was working at Subway.
At what?
At Subway and Carrabba's. Server.
Okay.
Carrabba's.
Okay, so you're gonna go back to fast food?
More than likely, just something light until I finish school.
Miss Johnson?
Yes.
What you taking in school?
Teacher education.
Ms. Johnson, I'm gonna tell you right now, with this record, that's gonna be hard for you to get into a school. You got battery cases, ma'am. What you need to do is go back to school and get you a hairdresser's license so you can go ahead and do somebody's hair, and at least that'll be money coming in. You can work for anybody who has a shop open or a chair open, and you can run your business. I'm doing teaching education at Southern New Hampshire. First of all, those programs are expensive, so I'm wondering where you're getting the money for online education. Second of all, you're telling me what you think makes it sound good, but you are 34 with 7 kids and your kids are in foster care. I'm gonna need you to get on the thing that's gonna bring some money in as quickly as possible.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, it doesn't sound like you plan to reunite with your children.
Yes, ma'am.
When I say, are you on a reunification plan with defects and you tell me the office is closed? No, ma'am. We clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
All right. So On the case ending in 07702, 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a fine in the amount of $300 that will be suspended because she don't have the money. Anger management and no contact with Sonia Clayton. If she has been having visitation, that's going to end her visitation. Are we clear? Are y'all aware of that? Had y'all thought about that?
We spoke about that, Your Honor, and she had been arranging visitation through her mother. She
I
wasn't.
get arranging through her mother, but if defect says these children can't leave Sonia's care, then she can't see her children unless her mother has the right to get the kids and supervise visit. See, y'all got to think through these things. If her mama doesn't have the right to take the kids out of the care of the foster person, then she won't be able to see her kids.
Yes, Your Honor. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and the other thing, to run concurrent with 2024 CR 09340, 12 months, 30 days, balance probated for you to take an anger management class. It's the same class. You don't have to take it again. A $500 fine suspended, 40 hours of community service, and no violent or harassing contact with Michael Wilson. Now, who's your mom?
Her name is Georgia Johnson.
And you're going to be able to go live with her?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Johnson, you got to get yourself straight. I don't know if it's alcohol, drugs, but something is keeping you from having the life that you need to have. But I beg you, ma'am, don't go get pregnant again. How old is your youngest child?
She's 3.
Don't go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Ma'am, don't go get pregnant again. None of these babies have had time with you to have the amount of nurturing that a mama is supposed to give. Not one of them. Not one of them has spent a whole year being nurtured before you have another baby. Not one. Not one of these babies. Please don't have no more children. And I don't care if people say it's bad. I don't care what people say. Don't have any more children that you can't take care of. Are we clear? You can have all the sex you want as long as it comes with a condom or some way to prevent you from making another baby. Are we clear? Because I'm not convinced that you're not doing some form of sex work. We got 7 kids and no man is involved in their lives? None at all? Think about what you're doing, Miss Johnson.
Okay.
All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. You want
I'm
me to
so
repeat it? That's Ms.
I know
Wendy.
y'all probably said it like 5 times, but the case, since they're not on my calendar, I have the 2024 one, but I don't have the other case number.
That's okay, Ms. Wentz. It took me a minute to almost say it all over again for you, okay? Because that'll help me too. So this is the first case is 2022 CR 07702. That should be 1 simple battery. 12 months probation. Let me know when you're there.
Yes, ma'am.
12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a $300 fine that will be suspended for credit for time served, an anger management class, and no contact with Sonya, Sonya Clayton.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then the second one is 2024 CR 09340.
Yes, ma'am.
So battery, family violence is a guilty plea Counts 2, 3, and 4 should merge. And this will run concurrent with case 2022 CR 07702. 12 months to serve 30 days. Balance probated. Anger management class. $500 fine suspended. An additional 40 hours of community service. And no violent or harassing contact with Michael Wilson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and all of the conditions of probation are special condition.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
No problem, Ms. Wentz. I appreciate you.
And Judge, can I have the correct spelling of Miss Johnson's first name?
Oh, yeah, because that Ms. Wentz, do you have it on your computer as Brattany?
No, ma'am. I have it as Brittney.
N-E-Y. I'm sorry, I probably said it wrong. Brittney.
Yes,
Brit-
Judge. And I actually have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
So before Miss Johnson's case, we were on Mr. Holland. I
Okay.
just did not get the correct spelling for the victim that he's to not have contact with. If I could get that, please.
Lisa, Lisa Mitchell, Mitchell.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do we have anything else on today's calendar?
I think that concludes this business.
And
All
that's
right.
a mistake, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. I will see you all, I believe, Thursday.
Yes.
I got civil tomorrow, so I'll see y'all on Thursday for criminal arraignment.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
All right, thank you all.
You're welcome.
Take care.